Make sure you like this video my wife.
Second, it's emotes only. How's Turbo getting across the emotes only? Emotes only. Okay, turn that off. No more farts, okay. How about this? I could go back to the glass scraping sound. People loved that. So the sound the last episode was really good. Everyone loved it. That was terrible. It was really good.
And the Republican wins.
Forgot about this one.
The Republican wins. The Republican wins.
Oh, most of my sounds are just guys going.
The Republican wins. The Republican wins. The Republican wins.
What's going on? It's like, what's not going on?
Okay. It's time to do the freaking show. It's time to do the freaking show. No more talk.
The Republican wins.
No more talk.
Bink! Right in the face.
Enough of that. We gotta get into it. We got a show to do. It's the cool stream. We're back again to do another show.
The cool stream.
We fixed all of the sound issues. Everything is sounding good. If it's not sounding good, please let me know. But I think we've got it all sorted out. We're ready to do another show. We got a cool one today. It's about achieving oneness. We don't do anything in pairs and twos anymore because we're going to achieve the oneness. We're going to try to, something like that.
I can't stop buying crypto.
Something like that. Okay. It's going to be a lot of fun in the cool stream. It's going to be crazy cool and weird because it's the show where we talk about look at weird stuff on the web.
The Republican wins.
And watch some cool, fun videos.
The Republican wins.
What else do we do? Play crazy sounds.
Oh my word.
And that's about it. It's going to be fun and cool.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so...
So stick around. If you're a first-time viewer, let's hear it in the chat. I want to hear what some of these first-time viewers are up to. And here we go. There she is. Let's go back. We're not going to spoil anything just yet. We have to really ease into it because this is a big, important topic. Something that a lot of people have been wondering about. How to achieve spiritual oneness. And the way things are going these days, it's just bad. We hate what's been going on.
Thank you, Gaia.
So we have to, instead of looking outwards and seeing some of the things that we see and trying to separate our consciousness, we have to achieve the oneness and just say, forget about all this. It's all about me. I think that's what we're going to talk about. I'm not entirely sure sometime because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Some of the stuff I've been reading. Thank you, Gaia.
Thank you, Gaia.
We're going to be thanking Gaia when this gosh darn heat wave is over. Because it's a hot one. It's a hot one. Because it's a hot one. Outside. And it's about to be not so hot anymore. Thank God. I don't know. I don't have any good hot sounds. It's a hot one out there. but it's gonna cool down because it's the cool stream.
The cool stream.
This music is really pretty good. It's pumping along. I need something that's a little more chill, I think. Here, how about this one? There we go. It's the cool stream. We got a show to do. I wish I had some more interactive, fun things for the viewers to do. Like sometimes you can do something I was looking at. You can do a poll on Twitch. You could say like, this is going to be a good show today, and people can either vote yes or no. Something like that could be fun. Or you can just sit back, relax, and I'll yammer on for about 2 hours. That's what I do here. If it's your first time viewing, welcome. Probably not, but it would be kind of cool.
Bink! Right in the face.
We had some new viewers in here. Would also be cool if, I don't have a picture of myself when I'm talking, but I had one of those VTuber things. VTuber little character. If I could turn my little character guy over here in the corner, if you see there. If I could turn that into a VTuber type of thing, to have that little guy running around. That would be kind of cool. If the voice of me talking could change it to do like I was the little character guy. Something to think about. If you got any suggestions, leave it in the chat. Send me an email.
Thank you, guys.
Send me a message on Discord or whatever. But you know what? Let's not go into that. Let's not think about how ways the show could be better. Because frankly, this is about as good as we can do. This is about it. All right. If you want any more than that, you're gonna have to find another show. Okay.
You actually know what the fuck you're doing.
All right. Okay, so today we're covering something pretty cool, and we can hack our internal operating system. Okay, let's not do that one yet. We're talking about something interesting that we've come across via Gaia.
Thank you, guys.
Something that we've come across that we came across through a certain influencer that we had looked at for a bit early in the show. Here's our website. Wonderfully Nothing. It's Anna Brown. In some of the early episodes, she was doing all this. I don't even know what some of the stuff she was talking about. I think she was doing a lot of star seeds type stuff. I think it was just one of those kind of things. The star seed stuff. You remember that? Crazy weird. I think I have another sound for that. Well, let's try this one. I haven't heard this one in a while. It's kind of weird. The star seeds. The star seeds and the ascension and all that kind of alien new age stuff. I think she was into that. But really, her Instagram was mostly about, talking and yammering on about stuff I didn't even know. She's still doing that, thankfully, but we see here that now she's all about she's an unorthodox non-duality speaker who playfully points out the fallacy of seeking liberation. Why? Because there's only liberation and it's appearing as these words and the one who's reading them. In a nutshell, you are heaven disguised as everyday life, but as an ex-spiritual teacher, it is a joy to debunk myths about life and enlightenment in a fun and uncompromising way. Don't subscribe to being a teacher, savior, or therapist, just a lass who likes to sometimes chat about this beautiful simplicity. Okay, are we following this? If you resonate, I'm resonating. starting to, my resonation levels are starting to go up, starting to go off. If you resonate, please feel free to book a private chat. We should have done that. We should have booked a private chat. Or if you dig communities, there's always the private Patreon community. And if you happen to be on social media, and we're on all the platforms, you can find us. Cool stream on Instagram. We don't post there anymore. Oh no. Find us on TikTok. I don't post there either. Just hit us up on Twitter.
Make sure you like this video. And subscribe. Make sure.
So she's got a Patreon, but most of the stuff that I used to see was going down on Instagram. So when I went back to find some other stuff, and it looked like she had deleted a bunch of posts, and I said, "What the hell? Look, she ain't or actually her original account was gone." So I said, "What the frick?" She used to have 1 million posts on Instagram, and then she disappeared, and now she's got a new account. So I said, "That's kind of weird. What's going on?" Well, did some Googling. It turns out she no longer stands by those messages about being a light language interpreter. You have to visit her latest work. She's not on Instagram. So in this podcast is when she was talking about all kinds of weird crap that we've definitely talked about before on various episodes. Cracking my knuckles there. About ascension. How to live from heart-centered consciousness. How to reprogram your body and mind to be radically aware of the present, which has to do with, here's another one. Hacking your internal operating system to be coherent with the vibration of your higher self. So this gets into all the crazy weird stuff. The light codes, the ascension, star seeds, downloading the codes. Remember that? Not that. Oh, remember that about how they were trying to hack into their DNA codes? How to open your Stargate? What's a star seed? Having paranormal experience? Spiritual awakening? Stand in the light on Instagram. So anyway, maybe she'll talk about some of this stuff in the episode here that...
I am your host, Xenia. It's May 20th.
To give you an idea of some of the stuff she used to talk about.
A disclaimer for this episode, per my guest Anna Brown's request.
Uh-oh.
Anna Brown no longer stands by the message shared in this podcast episode. Please note that when connecting with Anna or booking a session with her. To connect with Anna Brown's latest work, visit her website, wonderfullynothing.com. That's wonderfullynothing.com. As of today, Anna Brown is not active on Instagram. And here is the episode the way it was originally aired.
I'm the higher self in the body, and I'm here to reformat it. Like I'm inside of it's almost like you're inside of a computer operating system.
I'm in the computer. I'm hacking. Hackers.
I was laying in my bed, and it was like a lightning bolt went off in my room. White light in my whole room. And all I hear telepathically is...
Hold on. Lightning bolt. Remember that? There was a lightning bolt that went off. She was asleep or something.
And this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to be an ascension guide and teach ascension mastery. I still gotta go through stepping through the fear of, oh my God, how are people gonna perceive me? I just turned my camera on one day, started filming, posted it, and I never thought that I would have this many followers.
Make sure you like this video.
I would even, be on this level of service. But hey, here we are, right? Welcome to the unknown. Don't forget to like this video. Through the lens of quantum physics, everything is
quantum physics.
Now.
I'm your host, Xenia, and my guest today is an ascension guide, Anna Brown.
She was an ascension guide, not anymore.
During this episode, there were moments where I had full body goosebumps, like a soul remembering something deep inside that I had no idea about on the conscious level. And I'm sure that
La
you
mia
will have
shuki,
some of these moments while listening to this conversation as well. Anna is an intuitive energy healer whose mission is to be the bridge in assisting light beings into the new
Light
earth
beings. Okay, you catch that? She was all about assisting the light beings into the new earth realm, which sounds pretty cool. Actually sounds a lot cooler than what we're going to talk about today. So,
power and support those who are
I'm going to
ready
preface with
for
that.
divine remembrance and embodiment of the beloved I am. I have seen Anna's Instagram account where she shares lots of content about a new earth and awakening and really living from your heart center. And her account has grown faster than anything else I've seen in this realm, in this niche. So while in this
realm, that her Instagram was really blowing up. But in the other realms, you know, some of the other Anunnaki podcasts and Instagrams are a little bit different.
The new earth and heart-centered consciousness, we also touch on the behind the scenes of how did she come from a difficult background, from poverty, from a time when she didn't even have time to buy books on personal development, on spiritual awakening, to running this really, really magnetic Instagram account and a coaching practice and a successful business. You get a behind the scenes glimpse into how she creates her content and what practices Anna does every single morning to step into her higher self. What is this?
This is a podcast roundup, real quick.
All can see a brief podcast on her Instagram account. So you're truly getting a behind the scenes look with all the questions that I was really personally inspired to ask as someone who teaches others to step into a more conscious way of approaching social media and using it as an opportunity to expand and grow and heal, because ultimately
it's all about getting close to the,
it's all about what we bring to it.
Social media is neutral. Okay, once you step into the realm of,
You actually know what the fuck you're doing.
Oh gosh. Once you step into the realm of social media and podcasting, choose to put into it. There's nothing there that's affecting you or hacking your brain or any of that. It's all neutral. Okay.
We usually tend as humans to blame.
Oh my gosh, she's talking. She's still talking.
Being featured.
This is like the intro on, I mean, pretty much podcast roundup right now. This is like the beginning of the Mark Maron podcast when he did this little preamble. You just gotta fast forward through that.
To disappear.
I don't do that on my show, so don't fast forward when I do it. So that happened.
So allowing them to one sessions. So that happened.
A
couple of
saw
spots
Alien.
that don't include the one-on-one coaching.
Oh my God.
Sparks of awakening touches me in such a profound way and reminds me of who I am more than a lot of what I've been put on this earth to do is also
family dynamics, because they can move through that and alchemize it at a very rapid rate.
Okay, that's pretty much that. That I guess gives you an overview if she did light language or I don't know. Get on with the show or
get on with the mission of what they're here to do. So
talking about aliens.
Clear up and clean up lineages through DNA that is like abuse, deep separation, poverty, anything like that. Just really dense kind of family dynamics. But the main mission of the Starseed is anchoring in unity consciousness or heart-centered consciousness.
Do you remember the moment you knew that this is what your mission is? And how did you even find the language to understand it?
The light language.
So when I was a child, I always had paranormal experiences. Doors would open and close, objects would move. I had like a Men in Black experience as a child. I saw
Here come the Men in Black.
A lot, like UFO, that kind of experience. All
crap.
Growing up. Now I was raised Catholic, guys.
And
I was really into like Amityville horror and like poltergeist movies. So my brain was conditioned to think, okay, it's demons, it's Satan,
demons,
spookies. So I didn't really understand what was going on because I didn't have the context to really relate it to anything. But throughout my whole life, you could say it's been an awakening because I've had all these weird experiences, right?
The
But
aliens and stuff.
I had an awakening in college that really shifted everything for me. But it's not like a one big opening and then it's like you're there. It's enlightenment or liberation.
Enlightenment.
So does the ascension, because we're infinite beingness. So I'm constantly embodying more of my I am presence. I'm constantly embodying more of my God self and remembering more of who I truly am. So this is unfolding over linear time, if you will. But my whole life has been very paranormal and just kind of weird and not really third dimensional. If that makes sense.
And do you remember the moment where you knew that you could teach this and hold space for others?
Well, okay, so as a kid, like I said, I was raised Catholic. I was like, oh, Moses, awesome. Jesus
Christ.
So I was like, I loved God, I loved spirit, I loved love, but I also had this really hardcore rebel side to me, anarchy, F authority, all of this kind of stuff. It was a very beautiful combo, but it was part of, I needed that energy for the role I'm here to do and the beings I'm here to serve. But I always kind of like, man, I want to be a mouthpiece for God. I really want to be like Moses. I want to be like these beings in scripture that are out there like, yeah, let's do this. Let's anchor in God's love. Like that was always like the driving force. I just never really knew what was going on, you know? But I kept having these like really mystical experiences. I was having like, just as a personal share, one night I was laying in my bed and it was like a lightning bolt went off in my room.
Lightning bolt.
White light in my whole room.
Lightning
and all
bolt.
I hear telepathically is, you must go beyond mine. And that shook me. And I was never the same after that experience because I was like, oh my God. Like you can't go back after an experience.
Crazy.
And so when you have openings like that and you feel the pristine grace and love of our Creator, which we are not separate from, it is us. You just want to serve that. You just want
Lightning
people
bolt.
to know who they truly are. It's like something clicks on in you. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about.
What was
Something
that
clicks
from?
on in you, and you're like, when your mission's there, and you're just like, this is what I'm here to do, and you're.
Okay, she's here to connect with the aliens. I'm trying to remember what that lightning bolt was from. What is that from? A video game? Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Kid? Lightning bolt kid? Here it is. Oh, here it is.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
There, I found it.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Sleep! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Sleep! Lightning bolt!
The ogre battle. Lightning bolt. I found it. I found it.
Lightning bolt!
I found it. The guy LARPing. Okay, I found the video. I want to LARP. Remember we thought that was so stupid when we were see people in college LARPing. Like, these people are so stupid. And now I'm like, I want to do that. now I'm a nerd. Except I think I would want to do it with a real sword. Alright. Or at least one that's a little more heavy duty than the styrofoam ones that they had.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Interesting. How do they do that? They're shooting. Okay. Maybe that you know what? Put that on. Let's put that on the list. All right, we're putting that on the list. That one sounds interesting. LARPing. Putting that on the list for an episode. Because now I have more questions about LARPing. I don't have any questions about this crap. So anyway, I'm trying to lead us into non-duality via this influencer who used to talk about aliens, ascension, light beings. She said something here. I wanted to just look this up. I am ascension. The I am whatever philosophy. The I am presence. This is part of that philosophy of the New Age people of the. I can't remember the name of these people now. I did a whole freaking episode on it. Can't remember it. Oh crap. Here we go. The love is one, people. Love has won. That's kind of the same in that the mighty I am presence. Okay, this kind of stuff. The ray of light and the I am, the ascended masters, the violet flame, the I am presence, ascension, all that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that she was into, okay? All right, and now it's all about something different. We're done with that. We're done with that stuff. She's deleted the Instagram and has moved on, has disavowed the philosophy of aliens and ascension. And now it's all about something else. And now we're going to get into what that is. But we're going to start with a video to explain some of the new stuff that we're talking about.
Where are you going and what are you looking for?
And what the hell? There's going to be a lot of good little sound clips. I can already tell.
Where are you going and what are you looking for?
What the frick are you doing?
You're the whole damn view. Everything, all of this, is God. The body of God.
The body of Christ
Oneness,
compels you.
Freedom.
Freedom. Freedom.
Nothing's missing, so nothing can be found.
Somehow it got creepier with this new philosophy. Somehow she's gotten stranger, and I don't really understand what's going on there. But anyway, let's keep going. There's a lot of stuff to get into.
Aren't designed to instruct. They're just reflections. You're looking at yourself and you're hearing yourself. And I'm not speaking about what you call your mind or belief systems, hearing yourself. This is isness. Oneness, wholeness. Appearing as a female body. Speaking onto itself.
Stop looking at me.
So when you're it, this is it. What is there to be found?
What the hell are you talking about?
Rolls appear, obviously.
Rolls appear. Yeah, when I'm over at Poff Deluxe's house and he's making breakfast for everyone. I'm sitting here watching the big racing show, and the rolls appear, and then I'm gonna eat one.
Bodies appear, personalities appear, but that's all oneness already.
Oneness. That's what we're trying to get to.
Whatever the role is, whatever the character
Whatever the role is, sweet roll, Hawaiian roll,
love. And it does not need
buttery
permission.
roll.
And it's not waiting on you to catch up to this,
Rolls appear.
or to get this, or to understand this, because there's nothing to understand.
Is this making any sense? This is the new thing that we're on now. We've had enough of aliens. We've had enough of light language, even though much of that didn't make sense either.
My wife.
Now we're on to this. This is the new stuff. This is the new stuff.
You see, what we come to recognize within the illusory hell of separation, which is just an appearance, we're chasing ourselves. We're biting our own tails. And in essence, the whole game, the whole gambit of duality runs on me not it, this not it, me not it, this not it, and I'm not it, and I'm not it. Deny myself, deny this, deny this. But that's one that's denying itself, and that too is freedom.
Freedom.
So all I can suggest or say or playfully point out is boop, 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 boop. This is already it. This is the highest consciousness appearing as the lowest. This is the alpha and the omega. This is the first and the last. This is the absolute appearing relative. Infinity appearing finite. Already. Woo-hoo!
What the hell?
The only thing that lives in doubt and can deny this is a belief system. And I'm not talking to the believer.
What?
I'm talking straight to isness. which is here
What?
right now. You can't even watch
Isness.
this video. Can't even hear these words, translate these words without isness. There is only isness. There is only beingness. And if it appears as a thought, so what? If it appears as emotion, so what?
Isness.
If it appears as a desire or a goal, so bloody what? This is playtime, folks. This is play.
This is playtime, you mother. Whew. Intense and weird energy is what I'm getting.
This is timelessness having playtime. But let me be real, so to speak. Time isn't.
So to speak. So to stream.
It's a play.
Okay.
It's a play of
It's
ether,
a play
of sky, of light.
And don't say good luck, or what is it? Don't say Macbeth before you do the play. What is it? Something about not supposed to say stuff and then before you do the play.
Ending into these apparent
You
dynamics
get
of
it.
space-time, but it's not real
La mia
like the mind
shuki
sells
shia.
it to be. The mind is always selling shit. There is nothing. There ain't nothing on sale here. I'm just celebrating
can't stop
your
buying
selfless self,
crypto.
so to speak. I am
get it.
celebrating ether, celebrating life force.
She's celebrating ether. I think she needs to
can't
move
stop
into becoming a crypto person and take this energy and funnel it into. We're celebrating NFTs, everybody. We're going to the moon. Woo! You know, take that energy, put it towards crypto, and she could cash in big time on that. But instead of talking about, I don't
Which
know
is
what we're talking
appearing
about.
as a you and a me.
Still don't
dancer.
understand.
And the dance will never end. It's infinity. What seems to stop ending is the need for
Infinity.
manipulation, control, understanding, projection. Really, what drops is the need for a box to put yourself in.
Father on the banco.
Gets a little tight, gets a little uncomfortable. But I gotta be honest, the box is not there.
That's
The
how you get
mind
rich.
is not there.
What?
It just seems to be.
My mind is
But
not
even
there.
thought forms are sky.
Is not
Sensations
there.
are sky, appearing like that.
Whoa.
But you know
But.
this. All of this.
I don't
This
know
is
anything.
an intuitive conversation, so to speak. This is an intuitive message.
This is a YouTube video.
Not mental.
Don't forget to like this video.
So for those who can hear me, hear. I love you.
Bink! Right in the face.
All right. That's the new stuff that we're on now. This is a little intro into some of the stuff we're talking about today, folks. That's right. It's the new thing. It's that everyone's talking about. That I think you could probably figure out from the video. You could probably figure out what she was talking about. You're like, oh, that sounds familiar. I know exactly what's going on here. Right, we're talking about non-duality. Okay. Whoo-wee! It only took him about 40 minutes to get through this. We're talking about non-duality. Now, what is that? What the hell is that? And if we figured it out, that would be pretty cool. But I don't know if we will. I don't know. We want to look about what is non-duality? What is non-duality? Okay. Non-duality is a particular philosophy related to Eastern philosophy and religion that privileges the mental over the physical. It is the claim that the only ultimate reality is consciousness and that everything else, including the physical world, is somehow derived from consciousness. How do non-dual adherents defend such an extreme view? They're extremists. And we'll watch this video in a second. This one's pretty good from this website I've never heard of. Closer to the Truth. Sounds cool. We also have this handy dandy book, Non-Duality Illustrated. Metaphors to unlock the bridge to the formless by Barbara Pinchowski is now out. It's the illustrated and playful parade of non-duality metaphors. Wow. As never seen before. The book is made up of 58 of the deepest essential questions we all have at some point. Who am I? Does God exist? Is there a free will? If there is a God, why does he allow suffering? That's a good question. In this day of age, we have to understand that. The answers are taken from age-old wisdom that has been passed down through generations and through millennium. Most of the metaphors used to answer these questions are taken from some non-duality lectures and teachers. This is maybe based on some Buddhist type stuff. Let's see what this says here. Do I have an immortal soul? Soul.
So here's something that I can tell you. When you start looking for your immortal soul, see if you have one, some weird things start to happen. At least that's what happened to me. And it took me about 20 years to figure out that all of this is actually really well known. And it has been done
simulation
for thousands of years. So this is why I'm making the video.
Finding your soul.
If anyone else is on that search to figure out, do they actually have a soul? And they're tired of the faith-based ways that you first have to believe in something. They want to practically actually know.
Okay.
I guess I call this practical spirituality. It's not about believing. It's about experiencing. It's about knowing. That was at least what I wanted for me.
Okay.
Here's my story. It started when I was a teenager, maybe 16,
Okay.
17.
We don't need to hear the whole story, but it's something to do with people that were maybe believing certain things and about aliens probably, and then realized actually it's not about that. Metaphor to unlock the bridge to the formless. And let's see if we can zoom in on some of these pictures here. This will help us understand duality. I have found God. He just does not listen. These are some of the illustrations that are going to help us understand how to achieve oneness and how to ascend to the non-duality point of view. The only thing you can be absolutely sure about when you have found God is that you have not found God. What? What? Okay, and it looks like he's farting in the air. Boom. God only knows love. Look at God there. Looks like a weird little cartoon man. Some of us use the mind as a torture machine. Oh, frick. You can say that again. Some of us use the mind as a torture machine. Trying to find a good sound for that. Let's try this one. Some of us use the mind as a torture machine. Thinking about all this bad stuff. Okay, I can relate to that. You are that. Doubtful infinite existence plus certain limited existence equals certain infinite existence. Okay, does that make sense? Does that explain non-duality? Doubtful infinite existence. We're doubting infinite existence, and then we're certain about our limited existence is certain infinite existence. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How about this one? Consciousness, freedom, and manifestation will. I don't know where I'm going. Ask the horse. And I think that's a reference to something. See if I can find it. Maybe. The pale white horse. Behold a pale white horse. Maybe that's what it is. Is that what that's a reference to? I think so. This is about something about conspiracies or something. Secrets of the Freemasons. So this book is trying to say that. What is it trying to say? I don't know where I'm going. Ask the horse.
Hello. My name is Mr. Shit, and you are watching the cool stream.
Alright. That's right, you're watching the cool stream. Thanks, Mr. Shit. Behold the pale white horse. I think that's what it's referencing here. Maybe. So anyway, that's non-duality. Okay. And we're going to figure out more about that. The origins of... The book is new. Its contents is perhaps the oldest available. Comes from perhaps the oldest civilization. The origin of the contents are the Upanishads, the book itself on non-duality, Advaita Vedanta. Non-duality metaphors. Metaphors to unlock the bridge of the formless. Maybe let's see if we can look up what that is. This author or teacher or someone. Advaita is something to do with philosophy. Advaita Vedanta is one version of Vedanta. It's nominally a school of Indian philosophy. It's a label for any hermeneutics that attempt to provide a constant interpretation of the philosophy of the Upanishads. The Brahman Sutra. It's often translated as non-dualism, though it literally means non-secondness. The names of Sandic teachers. Okay, the essential philosophy of Advaita is an ideal monism. It's considered to be presented first in the Upanishad and consolidated in the Brahman Sutra. Brahman, the ultimate transcendent immanent god of the Vedas, appears as the world because of its creative energy, Maya. The world has no separate existence apart from Brahman. Experiencing self and the transcendental self of the universe are in reality identical. Okay, this is where the non-dualism comes in. Is this really what we're doing the show about? Yes, it is. And the viewers are dropping like flies, but you know what? We're going to get into some more. We have to read a little bit first to understand what this means. So it says here, the experiencing self, because I can assure you that some of these videos we're about to watch aren't going to make any sense. So we're going to try to figure out first, and then we'll watch some more videos. Experiencing self, okay? You're experiencing yourself. You're here at the computer, which is what I'm doing right now. And the transcendental self of the universe, which is your spiritual, whatever, your spirit or something. The Atman are in reality identical. Okay. Though the individual self seems different, as space within a container seems different from space as such. Stop experiencing yourself. I'm not. The words are just coming out. They're flowing, and there's nothing. I mean, that's what this show is about. Is attaining the oneness of
La mia shuki.
Okay. Brahman is alone true, and this world of plurality is an error. The individual self is not different from Brahman. Plurality is experienced because of error in judgment and ignorance. Knowledge of Brahman removes these errors and causes liberation from the cycle of transmigration and worldly bondage. Wow. This is deep stuff. I guess if you read enough of this about the metaphysical part of it, the Brahman, the fundamental reality underlying all objects and experiences. Brahman is explained as pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure bliss.
Man.
All forms of existence presuppose a knowing self. Brahman or pure consciousness underlies the knowing self. You lost me there. Brahman is also one without a second, all-pervading and immediate awareness. The absolute Brahman is known as Nirguna Brahman, but is usually called Brahman. Constitutes reality in all individual selves, while the appearance of our empirical individuality is credited to ignorance and illusion. Okay. Brahman cannot be known as an individual object distinct from the individual self. However, it can be experienced indirectly in the natural world of experience. We're trying to figure things out about the Lord and the God. Because God knows it ain't down the street at the old church. It's somewhere else, and maybe we'll figure it out if we watch and read enough of this website today. We're just trying to find, we're all just trying to figure it out, okay? We're all just trying to figure things out, and this is part of that. So it's part of my spiritual journey on the Cool Stream is watching some of these videos. Let's watch this one here, and I'll shut up for once. This will help it make sense once you watch this, because I have watched it and it was really
Gino, I've heard this
interesting.
term non-duality.
What
Is that
the
going to help me
hell?
understand consciousness?
Probably not, because non-duality is an experience. It's a word that people use to describe an experience of non-dual. And what all non-dual is no separation. And so physically right now, you and I are sitting here, in this wonderful area. But in this conversation, we seem to be somewhere as well, too. And so the question is, where is this?
And so...
Where is this?
Where is this conversation?
Yeah.
In other words...
What the hell are you talking about? The back and forth between these two guys is pretty entertaining.
You're abstracting the concept of consciousness.
They're like philosopher guys or something. I don't know who the hell these guys.
And so...
Where is this?
Where is this conversation?
Yeah.
In other words, you're abstracting the concept of conversation in a different realm. In other words, there's a creation that's occurring.
Well, your question for that is directed towards me, and it seemed to be a question, but it's in a space. So if I mention the last time that we met was maybe in Shanghai or something like this, I'm pointing to things that you're nodding your head, so you seem to be in agreement.
So we have the same commonality
well,
of thinking?
It seems to be a commonality of thinking, but we seem to be in a mental space right now in this conversation. And so the question is, where is this? And is there a separation here within this?
And separation between what and what?
Well, we're in the same place right now.
Okay.
I'd argue. Physically, there's this. But then the question is, where is this? And where is the separation within this?
Well,
okay. I'm on the side of this guy with this old guy. He really lays into him Well, we'll see it right now when I push play.
I mean, one could say that you're linguistically creating something that's unreal, that you are saying things as a product of your brain, I'm saying a product of my brain, and we're exchanging information, and there is no this. That's some hocus pocus that you're making up.
Well, but your conjecture of that is within this as well, too.
Well, my conjecture is just what my brain is reacting to what you're saying.
Yeah, and
you're building a superstructure on top. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're building some mentalistic superstructure on top of what is obviously occurring in the physical world.
Yes, but this mentalistic superstructure, where is this mentalistic superstructure?
Well, I'm saying it's
up
fiction.
your ass.
It's your own imagination, like a comic strip. You can make up whatever you like.
But right
now,
we're sharing this imagination.
No, we're sharing a conversation.
But where is this conversation?
Well,
it's
mean,
up your ass.
Creating the idea of a mental space that something is happening in, and that's an interesting approach to life. I mean, but it doesn't seem like there's any real foundation to it. I mean, other than it sounds good.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
That's a viewpoint within this, and that's a perspective that you're sharing. That's outlining to me your perspective in this space. So arguably we are in this space.
Yeah, you're bringing me into this mental space that is created by our conversation, that suddenly emerges, that is someplace or in some realm of thinking, and that is what you're saying. I want to understand the non-dualistic part of it.
That's the point behind this is that there's the physical, and clearly in the physical there's separation.
Right. We have edges. We have boundaries. I know where I stop and where you start. Right.
Yeah. So physically I'm here, and there are clearly boundaries in this.
Physically, I want to knock you around with a few punches to the face. He's trying to. It looks like he's trying to build the mental superstructure with some kind of brain waves. Oh, frick. This is getting weird. He's going Doctor Strange on his ass. Is that what Doctor Strange does?
Conversation
laser beams.
We also have boundaries because you're challenging the fact that we're in some kind of conversation, but I'm saying this conversation is actually happening within a shared perspective, or there's a meta frame of which you're constructing these intellectual argument constructs. And I could disagree with you in which we're separate, or I can agree with you in which it would seem like there is no separation and there's no difference. Now, there's...
In another sense, if you disagree or agree, the conversation is the same, so we're in that space.
Yeah, we're in the... Well, arguably, I argue that the space exists, but then within, for both of us, we're both aware of the conversation space, and we're aware of the physical surroundings as well, too. And that awareness, just the awareness of all of this, including what's in the mental and arguably the spiritual or whatever, or the physical, that awareness, that pure awareness, arguably, from you. I'm just a dream. I'm just a character in your story from this perspective. I'll just surrender all notion of existence. But that awareness of all of this stuff that's within you somewhere, that's arguably who you really are. And that is all you really are.
Okay.
And so all of this other stuff is arguably dual, but that the awareness of all of this, whether it's in a conversation, an idea, a thought, or this whole realm of stuff, both in this arguably another dimension of where this conversation
another
is,
dimension,
or the
galaxy, intergalactic, planetary.
And that awareness is what is a monoistic, which is non-dual.
Well,
so because that
you can't really say it's mono, because then that's implying that there's something else.
Oh, okay, but so non-dual is the way that you say that it's not separate.
Yeah.
It's not separate. But when dual means two, right? Dual means two. So you're saying it's not two.
Yeah.
And the two, what are the two that it's not?
I'll tell you what the two is. after I have my morning coffee.
Two that it's not are the physical, that you're sitting here and I'm sitting here, and the mental.
No, it's everything.
So what's the two? Of the non-dual, what's one and what's two? You got to get me to two.
All right, I'll tell you what two is. What's one? Okay, we got one here. And what's two? Well... what's two? Oh god, this is gonna be bad. What's two?
Well, there is no two.
So why do you say dual?
There's no two.
Why do you say dual? It's not dual.
It's not dual, right?
Yeah.
So all I can say is what it's not.
Okay, so it's not dual. But what is the dual that it's not?
Well, anything which is a dual means that it's not that. If you can find a dual, it's not that. So the birds are chirping in the background, laughing at that comment.
Yeah. But the birds chirping is actually your
I've heard this term
existence.
Non-duality.
Okay, we got some more non-duality stuff.
You've gone about a study that is very organized of different people who have different experiences. What can you tell me about non-duality?
Non-duality is a term that's used to describe a very specific way that it feels to be, or a very specific way that it feels to live your life. It's used by really a relatively narrow portion of the population. So there's many, many other terms. There's enlightenment, for instance. There's persistent mystical state. And essentially, they all sort of relate to their own dogma or their own spiritual tradition or their own religious tradition.
But the core psychology is really the same?
The core psychology is very, very much the same.
Their dogma.
Now, what's interesting about these different traditions is that they seem to be off at different places, right? So if there's a continuum of these experiences, which we believe that there is, with discrete buckets, if you will, along that continuum. So you might be in location one, for instance.
What are they? What are those locations?
What are the buckets?
Locations begin with a profound change in your individual sense of self. Right? So you literally feel like your sense of individuality, your sense of being an individual self in the world has gone away and it's transitioned to something else. And what that's transitioned to largely depends on your own beliefs and your own dogma. So perhaps you're Buddhist and you feel that it's gone to a sense of spaciousness. Perhaps you're Christian and you feel a beginning of emerging with the divine, whether it's Christ or the Holy Spirit, depending upon your sect.
Christ.
Perhaps you're atheist and you feel it's emerging more with nature, like you feel like you're just more a part of the world. But in any way,
is that what the atheists
there's
believe?
Basically this dissolution of the individual sense of self, and something larger than the self replaces it. And it has effects on cognition. It typically reduces what feels like someone's thinking by 80 or 90%. And what is actually going away there is their self-referential thinking, their self-referential thoughts, and it's leaving the thoughts for planning and learning new skills and things like that.
So in that sense, non-duality is just one specific kind of this emptying of the self, which is a Buddhist kind of tradition, and all different traditions have different ways of describing it.
To me, it's a label that can just as easily be substituted for a persistent mystical state in Christianity, or enlightenment in perhaps Buddhism or Hinduism, a form of Hinduism perhaps.
Okay, so now we finally understand what the hell we're talking about here. It's just a label for this guy is a Center for Study of Non-Symbolic Consciousness. He specializes in bringing rigorous empirical research, transformational techniques, and theories. Jeffrey is the leading expert on persistent non-symbolic consciousness, enlightenment, non-duality, mystical experience, union with God, etc. Interesting. Interesting stuff. What is this website, though, is what I don't know. And who is this guy who's asking these questions? Closer to the truth. The greatest thinkers exploring the deepest questions. Explore episodes and interview series. The laws of nature, quantum technology, All of these famous smart guys. Where's the smart ladies, for God's sake? There we go. Susan Blackmore. Does ESP reveal spiritual existence? How could ESP work? What does ESP mean? Can philosophy of religion find God? Eleanor Stump is going to tell us all about that. If you're interested in watching that. What's eating the universe? This is kind of a cool website. Frank Wizelek receives the Templeton Prize. Philosophy of the mind. Okay, well, I think we figured out that. It's time to... we'll just end the show. Just kidding. Non-duality is just another form of enlightenment. Good to know. Okay. Let's check out then, with that knowledge that we finally figured it out, let's see what some people see people are talking about. What that?
Humans.
Non-duality.
And there's even the universe. It all comes and goes.
Right.
In a universe with billions of
What about
stars,
the multiverse?
there is
with
the Milky Way.
The Milky
And within
Way.
the Milky Way, there is planet. And on this planet, there's a country.
A country.
And in this country, there's a house.
In the country.
And inside this house, there is Mark.
He's a man.
Mark
and he's
has a
on the
problem.
internet.
His Bitcoin dropped 2%.
Oh, frick.
As you may understand, this
Cryptos.
is a huge problem.
Yes. It's a huge problem when the cryptos are dropping.
I can't stop buying crypto.
Interesting way to start this video. That is a huge problem when the cryptos are dropping dramatically.
Mark knows that Bitcoin is
The
money that
Bitcoin.
doesn't really exist.
Oh, wow.
But what he doesn't know is that he doesn't actually exist too.
Whoa.
Even the universe does not really exist. It all looks very real. It is as if you are living
a
in a three-dimensional
simulation.
world where you are an individual with free will. However,
we are all one consciousness.
We're all star
experiencing
stuff.
itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves.
non-duality means
Non-duality.
not two. It points to the idea that everything is one consciousness. Let's use Ramana
simulation.
Maharshi's metaphor of the
Ramalama
wide
ding
screen.
dong.
Consciousness is like the wide screen in which everything appears and disappears. So there are trees, and there are animals, there are humans, and there's even the universe. It all comes
It's all a simulation.
and goes. So all our thoughts, feelings, and experiences are
all a
like
bunch of crap.
projections on the wide screen. But the wide screen, this consciousness, will always be there and always stays untouched. All the projections, they look very real to us. However, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Mark's computer interprets zeros and ones and then creates a visualization on the screen. In the same way, Mark's brain interprets elementary particles and then creates the experience of a world. It is not the brain that creates consciousness. The brain is a tool through which consciousness can experience a world that looks real to us. There's one consciousness experiencing itself through billions of creatures. The consciousness that looks through your eyes is the same consciousness that looks through my eyes.
What?
And there's not even a difference between you and me. Just like a wave is not separate from the ocean. It's all one.
It's like how a wife is not separate from the husband.
My wife.
I don't know. This is getting a little... I think some people have more of an esoteric point of view on this. He's saying that our consciousness is all we're the same, which is... I don't know if I agree with that. So what are your definition of consciousness? Okay, why don't we ask that question?
Ocean, it's all one. Even death is merely an illusion. Projections come and go, but the white screen will always be there, just like consciousness will always be there. So if everything is consciousness, then what is this consciousness? We don't know. Because the eye can see, but it cannot see itself. So that will always be a mystery. Now, why does Mark
unless you're looking in a mirror?
If you believe that you are a separate being, it mostly involves two fears. Am I good enough? And I need to control
life. Am I smart enough?
And when things go differently from what you expected, there's mostly anxiety, stress, and frustration. Once you realize that everything is one consciousness at play and that everything goes as it goes, life will be experienced in a more relaxed way. And whether there is frustration or liberation, it simply goes as it goes.
It's just... what I'm gathering here is that it's all about just being chill. I think we could all, you know, agree with that, right? It's all about being chill and just chilling out and not getting, you know, just not getting wrapped up in the stuff, the now, the things of the day. I don't know. That's just what I think.
Been watching a lot of.
But what I think is non-duality, is duality, or something.
Non-duality speaker from Holland, I believe. It's not much of his stuff online, but well, not much in English anyway. But it's been really, really insightful.
It's really cool.
So yeah, one thing.
Really cool.
Pretty cool!
That he mentions is rewiring, and I'm glad he mentioned
rewiring the brain.
I think this a lot, and I definitely feel this a lot. And in one interview, he mentions about how you can rewire the brain through mindfulness or meditation or therapy or inquiry or all these things. It's great. It works. It's awesome.
I think we need to. It's awesome.
With my last video about self.
We can rewire the brain. It's awesome.
And also,
I need to do that.
The non-dual insights will also rewire the brain. They naturally do.
I need to rewire the brain.
Myself, the insight into no separation. It literally rewires the brain. It literally starts to do it. The deeper it starts to sink into your relative experience. So either way, rewiring is going to happen. No matter what your path is, no matter what your practice is, no matter what your interest is in terms of spirituality or peace or seeking or philosophy, psychology, therapy, it's all gonna rewire the brain regardless.
That's what I need to do.
Dual seeking is a bit of it's like the direct insight and then the rewiring happens, but it doesn't really matter which way it happens, which path it takes, which method it happens, ways. I like both. I like both at the same time. I feel like for me, for my body, mind, for this character.
But we're doing non-duality. We can't do both.
Accelerates it because I'm doing non-dual inquiry, but I'm also doing alternative therapy at the same time. Working in different ways, sound therapy, self-therapy, inquiry.
All kinds of stuff. Movement. Somatics, which is sound, healing. Just do it all. don't, you know, it's all fine. Just don't believe in weird crap like aliens. Self-therapy. What I think of this, and I think why a lot of people are into it now, and you're seeing it more and more, frankly, about non-duality, is that I think a lot of, specifically the people on YouTube that post videos and talk about this kind of stuff, maybe, and especially like Anna Brown, maybe we're into some of the weirder stuff, and like the ascension and the aliens and all that crap, and then kind of got into some weird crap, and got burned a little bit, and then we're like, oh no, this stinks, I hate this. And then they figured out non-duality, which is a lot of the same stuff. You know, we're all trying to reach our enlightenment and just be chill with the world and not freaking out all the time. So however you get to it, good for you. I think my guess is some of these people went a different route that was not so good, and then discovered a more direct approach, which is maybe more this, if you can understand it, which I can't really. It's, I mean, yeah, whatever. To each their own. It's just interesting to, when people are trying to articulate it with some of these videos, it's kind of tricky to.
What would it be like just for maybe 5 minutes, half an hour?
Non-dualinos.
Just be completely and utterly stop. Just stop. Not in terms of clenching or resisting.
Don't clench your butthole.
Physically or mentally. But just to stop altogether trying.
Just quit it.
Anything.
Quit it.
Even to try to let go, to try to surrender, to try to be at peace. Don't even try that. Just let whatever's here be here. And
just
stop.
Quit it.
Because it might be the first time in your whole life you've truly allowed yourself to stop. And that's freedom.
And then we have this guy. He's doing a non-duality live stream on a boat, it looks like, wearing a weird hat. Just fun. That's non-duality for you. It's just being on a boat, wearing a funny hat. Is that Pringles? Wearing a funny hat. Just go with the flow, get on your boat and wear your funny hat.
Atlassias, hello, Shaka Bra, Shaka Bra. Nada, cool hat, cheers to that. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Nice seeing you, Nada, nice seeing you. Can you hear me good and see me good without interruptions? Because I'm in the middle of a lake. And
I'm in the lake.
And
the boat doesn't crash.
Internet. It's a little sunny too. Crystal clear. That's good. That's good. That's good.
It's the damn Joker. He's crazy with that crazy hat. Okay. Okay, is he gonna start talking about non-duality? This is a long live stream, so I can't watch the whole thing, but it's a
One
funny
point
hat.
I'm saying you can find bliss in your home, you can find bliss in the middle of your lake, you can have bliss in the midst of masturbation, you can find bliss simply.
Come on. Come on. This guy was on his boat and he's like, I'm gonna hit the live stream, start talking about some of this stuff.
Shopping, when you're angry, when you're sad, immediately this can be recognized. It's simply behind everything you know. It's simply behind any kind of pretending that you're limited or that you're actually having a human experience. So feel free to flow. You can't do anything else.
Okay.
So cheers to that.
Alright. Okay, enough of this guy. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy.
So there's just this. There's
Whacking
just
off.
this. Literally.
Literally.
There is just this.
Literally?
What does that mean? What is this?
What is this?
Well, this
what is that?
is whatever
what is
appearing. We could say this is whatever experiences are arising. So, for example, the sound of a voice, the feeling of
the sound of a laugh,
sitting on a seat, the sight and the colour of the picture that may be in front of me. Ah, there's the sound of a car going past.
Wait, hold on,
Perhaps
hold
a
on.
thought arises.
Hold on. I have to rewind to get some more sounds in here. A fart would be this.
Of the picture that may be in front of me. Ah, there's the sound of a car going past. Perhaps a thought arises. The thought could be about anything. The thought could be about, what am I going to have for supper? The thought could be about non-duality. What does there is only this mean?
What the hell?
It could be about something that happened yesterday when I had a conversation with my neighbor. So in other words,
I love having conversations with my neighbor.
Means there is simply whatever phenomena are arising, whatever's happening. That can include any thought about an imagined future, any thought about an apparently remembered past, any thought about what appears to be something called the present.
Okay.
Any feeling, any sensation,
Anything.
Any sensation at all.
What about this? Anything can be this. How about this? Is this something?
The Republican wins! The Republican wins!
Is that something?
In other words,
there
is just this.
There's just
What
this.
is
The Republican
this?
wins!
It's whatever experience is happening.
It's you
Whatever
watching the cool
experiences
stream.
are happening.
That's what's going on
If
right now.
no experiences are happening, then this is the absence of experience. This is very challenging when it's said that there is just this. The mind really cannot grasp it. There's no point in the mind trying to grasp it. And yet, in non-dual awakening,
non-duality,
it's simply seen that there is literally simply what is happening. Whatever experiences.
Is this guy talking? He's sounding like Rob Lowe right now. Literally, there is just this. What else? What else? What else? What else? How about let's do some more Anna Brown stuff, because she's got some weird videos. How long have we been going? We've been going on for a long time. She's got some weird videos. She has a weird energy.
If time is an illusion, if it is merely an appearance, how is time going to lead you to that which is timeless?
The virtual retreat. 2 days interactive. I should have been on a virtual retreat.
Appearing as time.
Time.
They are
is
inseparable.
on my side.
This is why no amount of study or trudging on a path can lead you to this, because the path is illusory. Movement is actually a trick of the eye.
Okay.
This is God in static motion. I know that doesn't make logical sense to beliefs and stories, but to isness, to beingness, this is home. You are home.
You are here. To isness. She's talking about isness. Maybe that's sort of something she invented. I don't know. Isness. That's probably going to be a tough one to Google. Isness. Oh, maybe not. Isness. Isness. It's a philosophy. What does isness mean? I thought it was just something made up. Isness is this experimental bug eyes. I'm making the bug eyes. What does isness mean? It's an album by the Amorphous Androgynous and the Future London something or other. Isness. Isness. Just gonna keep saying that over and over again. It has something to do with non-duality, I guess. Non-duality. Non-dualitinos. The power of doing nothing. Isness. Feeling stressed. Put my finger on a couple hours of the beach was transformation. I described the Sunday saving victory of having carved out time for enjoyment with no ulterior motive. Isness? Isness appears in a variety of writings in religion and spirituality, but the concept also has a place in the secular world. Doing the thing for what it is, not for what it delivers, she told me, is kind of a cultivated habit. What Livni calls isness, simply calls wasting time. We call it necessary. In some ways, cultivate habit. Okay. So if you're watching the cool stream, you might be in doing isness. Just be in the moment, watching the show. And maybe that's why I enjoy maybe that's why I like doing the show so much. First of all, because I get to say whatever I want. And there's no one telling me, there's no one to say that I can't say that. This is a safe space for me and no one else. I'm in the isness of the cool stream. Isness is posting. Posting through it.
How are you doing? Doing well.
I'm dualitying non.
Chat, you know, this is just good to chat. You know, I had a chat with Frank and Tony, which is really great to chat about.
Frank and Tony. Love those guys.
Childhood, like all of that kind of stuff.
Uh-oh.
I grew up as a Catholic, and I was a Roman Catholic, and I was almost an altar boy, but I was so absent-minded that when the priest asked to bell, I missed it completely, so I was fired in the first day. How was your childhood?
I remember the bells.
Yeah, the bells, right?
Yeah,
You know, the priest was looking
I remember
back and he's
tapping
like,
the
"What is this
bell.
kid doing?"
Don't forget to like this video.
It's like it's nerve-wracking because you have to hit the cue for the bell at the right time.
Yeah.
Don't
You're, like,
forget to
sweating
like this
bullets. I
video.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do the altar girl thing too much. It was only because I had to get, you know, like confirmed or whatever, so many hours of doing service or whatever it was. But yeah, I remember the bell.
Were you
Tap the bell icon.
Catholic as well, or?
Yes. So I was
Crazy
raised
eyes.
Catholic as well. Yeah, I went to actually a private Catholic school
Joining
for
the
2
cult.
years for kindergarten and first grade until I moved to public.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah,
did
I
that
was-
rodeo.
I was in elementary, high school.
Yeah,
was
that would suck.
Catholic school.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
even more immersed. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had the uniform, and I wanted
Yes.
to talk about, you know, when I was a kid, I was
Suck.
just a very I talked to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That kind of like thing.
Jesus.
So with this apparent radicalness, you know what I'm saying? There was almost kind of like a holding on to that. You know what I'm saying? To kinda like
Jesus.
that kind of stuff.
Jesus.
Last kind of like apparent. How was yours? What was your belief and what was your idea during
Jesus.
that time?
Well, you could say there was always something that was off with it. Even whenever I was
Yeah.
going to mass in the private school, I just like I was daydreaming about eating pizza. I'm like, why am I here? Like, this doesn't make sense. And then it never made sense either for confession for me to speak to a man for the things that I think I've done wrong. And at a very early age, there was a deep-seated fuck authority in this character.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. But
Yeah.
I could always kind of snip it out a little bit. Like, why am I going to you? Why is
Yeah.
there a middleman here? And we're talking about priests, but even if we're talking about Jesus, the symbol of
priests.
Jesus was another middleman.
Jesus.
So don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. Yeah, he was badass. He was a rebel. I mean,
He
the
was
true
cool.
essence of Jesus was a rebel. So I totally relate to that. I don't relate to the middleman part. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There
that's
was this innocence here in the beginning. This is just a story. This in the beginning was this innocence and acceptance. But yeah, that moment of, you know, the
That
apparent
feeling
moment
when-
was kind of like, this is an authority figure. This is kind of
Yeah.
like, you know, there was an emerging rebel here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to
Oh,
speak.
yeah.
There was this emerging rebel that was kind of like questioning everything. I'm like, what does this mean?
Jesus.
And
I hate this
and
guy.
the first thing that he questioned was like, what is this Adam and Eve story? Doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
Just doesn't make sense. And I kept on going back to that, and even the confession was really weird.
It was weird. I think I only did it like once. Just say your prayers. Man, I think you need some isness. You need to practice the isness. Let's see. Non-duality. That, I don't know. That was not a good. I think we need a different video. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Just love these videos. Are kind of more like
Hey there, friend. Please excuse.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Picked up in the background.
Or more like our friend Bracha. That's a lot what these videos are reminding me of. Just channeling the inner whatever and just saying whatever you feel like
Broke my
in a
external
video.
mic after I created my first digital download, which you can find on my website.
My
by
first
the way.
NFT. I really think if she gets into NFTs, then it's game over. She's gonna make it money hand over fist.
Okay.
We'll see.
But you
Keep you
you
posted.
know, it may not be as clear vocally. The new microphone is supposed to come in today. So we'll just roll with what we got for now, you know.
'Cause
So I
we're in
hope
the
you guys can hear me
isness.
Okay. But
Getting
this,
up in my
this video
isness.
really doesn't need to be heard. The whole body, the eyes, even just the sound of the voice is holding an energy, you could say. Our energy, the one energy, source. Even the photos behind me, the plants, the wall, the breath.
The isness.
Everything is that energy, vibrating, singing, dancing, smiling, winking. Everything is yourself, so to speak. Everything is this beautiful mystery. And for some reason today, you clicked on this video.
Click on subscribe.
And maybe just us looking into each other's eyes is enough.
No, I don't like those kind of videos. Because you're not actually looking at anyone. Looking at a screen.
Because all of this is a permission slip. That's all this is.
Yeah.
I could sit here silently and just stare.
Don't
it would be equal
stare
to
at me.
Sputtering a bunch of words. It would. Because again, we're speaking of an energy.
We're speaking.
This energy is non-local. It is not.
It's
just
non-duality.
It's everywhere.
Non-duality.
And the device you're watching this video on, the sounds that are
I'm watching
all
on
of it is
YouTube.
Coming out of, well, nothing. You could say the abyss,
What?
the void.
We might have some
which is
TikToks we
unknown.
can watch too. Starting to get bored with this topic, but anyway.
The unknown just appears known. So we're not saying knowledge is wrong.
Knowledge is
or
power.
Knowing is wrong. Knowing itself is also a mystery. Life itself is a mystery. But the
Definitely.
knowing we're speaking about here is an intuitive
The
knowing.
knowing isness definitely thinks she could be a cult leader, but hopefully that's not what's happening. She just has kind of a weird energy. The comments are turned off on the video, by the way. Probably a lot of people going, why are you talking like that?
Don't have to go to school to learn it. You don't have to study. You don't have to practice.
I hate
You don't have to
going to
enunciate.
school.
Well, in fact, you don't have to do shit.
What?
Because what we call you, or me, or mind, or ego, is merely just a belief.
Lego my ego.
It's things you think you need to do to achieve this.
Isness.
And what's this? Life. So we can drop these words like enlightenment and even liberation and non-duality. We're just talking about the zest of life.
The zest of
And
life.
it's zesty sometimes. And sometimes it's sad.
It's
Painful,
zesty.
challenging, celebratory, sexy, fun, tasty. Life is delicious. Why would your character be omitted from that?
My character.
Why
I mean,
would your personality?
my personality.
Nothing is omitted from this.
Why? I just don't understand why she's talking like that. It's so strange. Nothing.
Nothing is omitted from this.
I don't understand. It's something to do with non-duality. Nothing. Let's see. Maybe some of these. I've got some. Maybe this will help us understand. I've got some cartoons we can watch. We're gonna some of our Sunday morning cartoons. Maybe that'll help us figure out this. What this.
What are you up to?
That usually
I'm
helps.
seeking.
Oh, what are you looking for?
I want to stop seeing two-ness.
That
and just
usually
see oneness.
helps.
Oh, you won't ever see.
I'm seeing two-ness right now. Cartoonist. Usually it helps to watch cartoons like these to understand some of these concepts. And thankfully we have a channel here, Non-Duality Fun. It's fun.
Oneness.
but I want to be one with everything.
I want to be one with everything.
How can I see that?
Think, written face.
You can't. Let's say this is a film, and all there is the empty roll of film, and nothing outside the film material, and all this is just an appearance on the film.
It's
That's
a
not
freaking
really
simulation.
happening. It just seems to be. And creatures and characters in the film run about in the apparent time and space as if they have free will, but it's only in the appearance. No real time or space or free will. No real people. Just film material. But the people in the film can't see that. They think they're real and think everything they see is real because there's a mirage of a bubble of consciousness appearing as I am the knower. And this knower isn't even on the film. It's an illusion.
Is the I am made up?
Yeah, it lives there, in an artificial reality. It's like a rat that can only see itself moving in time and space on a continuous loop of searching going round and round.
Is this film a horror movie?
It's everything. It's unconditional. Anything and everything can appear.
Is the role of film all-knowing and wise?
The film doesn't know it's film.
Shit.
The characters on the film are just dreaming they are real, and they hunt for the truth. But there is no truth, and no real knowledge.
Lord.
Knowledge of this chair isn't in the film, because there is no real chair. Knowledge only appears in the illusory consciousness bubble.
Seriously? Don't really get to know the role of a film.
What the frick?
Isn't that the truth that will set me free?
Well, no one appearing in the film can ever find the empty roll of film.
I'd rather go back to watching these other people just talking, just rambling at the camera than this cartoon. But this is fun. This is what we like on the shows. Anytime there's a cartoon.
Well, no one in the film is real.
Shrek's not real.
I hate this
Beep, beep. I hate
You're
it.
saying there is no me to know anything or see anything.
What can seem to happen is that
Is
the
Shrek
illusory
real?
knower dissolves, leaving just film. No knower who has now realised something or knows something.
How do you know this?
I don't know. The knower and knowledge are a mirage. That mirage isn't found anywhere on the film.
I feel a sense of a me in here who really wants to know this.
Freak. Okay, and we have a roller coaster.
How can I see that I'm not here when all I can see is that I'm here? I'm looking for the exit. Where is the exit?
What the freak?
I want to get off this roundabout.
What the freak?
I want to see that I'm an illusion. And see I'm living in an artificial reality. This is the biggest dilemma of the fucking century.
Aye.
You know, I was wanting to star in this film. Not be told I'm not even in it. This totally sucks.
So I'm not really going anywhere, am I?
No one is going anywhere. No past, no future, no
Jesus.
present.
This is depressing.
And the sense of me could drop.
Well, there is no real you to drop because it's not really happening in the first place.
It's not helpful to explain it this way. I don't even know. This just makes it more confusing. What is real? Well, realness is not real, and actually, wondering is not anything either. That doesn't help.
It'd be like waiting for a unicorn to drop, but there is no unicorn.
The freak? There's
Go on, shoot.
Doing something to make it go away won't help. It's not anywhere in the film. Analysing the unicorn won't help. And looking at the unicorn doesn't help. It just seems to give it life. Trying to pretend it isn't there also won't help. That's still thinking it is there when it isn't. There is just this seemingly happening.
Wow, there never was a unicorn or a me. Oh, it's back. Oh wow, it's gone. Oh,
Think, written face.
There's just this happening.
My wife.
Oh, it's back.
Good lord.
Does the film keep rolling?
It rolls without a beginning or an end, and without any of us in it.
This is like one of those. This is like Twin Peaks when they're in the room, the red room, and They're talking about all this crazy stuff. This is what this sounds like. This jazz music.
But saying this is a film
Is
is
this a
only an
film?
analogy.
It's kind of the same. Everything is the one material, and not film material, but instead an unknowable beingness.
Whoosh. No past, no future. That's great. I love to hear that.
Oh, wow.
All right, the Scottish. That was really cool, and I learned a lot. So let's watch another one.
Bing! Right in the face.
My wife. My
Well,
wife.
very nice. Welcome to the show. Welcome to what might seem like a totally bonkers non-world.
It's totally freaking crazy.
Of the No One Gets It Because No One Is Here non-duality show. When I first heard this idea that there was no such thing as enlightenment and consciousness, I did a time like, what the? And then I got a little apprehensive. My concerns were personal and worrying, not things I felt I could ask, like, well, with no conscious awareness, would I lose control over my bowels? Would I go about farting in public with gay abandon and not notice? What if I had no awareness of the need to pull a stray hair out from my chin? But then the plus side, if I don't have conscious awareness, would I no longer be aware that my husband is annoying? And shouldn't I prepare myself if I'm going to lose awareness? Lose those extra pounds? Or quickly do those things on my bucket list first in readiness? It turns out, the ability to do those things or not is just what's happening. And no one is married because there is no one. And annoyance can still happen. So now, I want to introduce my two guests this evening. Daryl, the neuroscientist, and by the looks of it, he has brought in a brain.
He's got a little
and
brain,
non-dualist
man.
Speaker Freddie, who has no message for us at all.
Husband fart.
Okay, Daryl, you've brought in a brain. Why
You've
have
brought
you brought
in a brain.
Well, Claire, I've been reading Eagleman's latest book, Livewire.
David Eagleman, the neuroscientist?
Yes, and in it, he talks about how the brain is made up of competing neurons. They are all fighting for real estate in the brain.
They're fighting?
Yes. The neurons assigned to vision compete with neurons used for other senses. In the dark, we're not using visual real estate, and the neurons for the other senses will try to steal their territory. So the neurons in the visual cortex fight to keep their real estate by creating dreams. It's a case of use it or lose it.
So basically our brains are battlefields?
Yes, it's territory wars between the neurons.
So when seekers are trying to quieten down the mind to find their true self as silence, they're actually provoking a turf war between neurons.
That's my understanding of it.
Drivel.
So much for aiming for a silent mind.
And neuroscientists haven't been able to find consciousness inside the brain, have they?
That's right.
Possibly because there isn't consciousness there at all.
There are neurons firing, but we don't experience those firings as firings. Instead, there is a sense of an internal world. And since the brain can make the data across the senses seem out there, it can also make the firings seem like there is a self living in there, in an internal conscious world. But that internal world is smoke and mirrors, or a fake projector, projecting an illusory screen with an illusory you. This illusory self is 2 removes from the reality of a neuron firing. Here's Reginald, and he's looking for answers.
I'm on my way to enlightenment. I have to search for my true self.
This is interesting. I'm learning something here.
Oh, we've all done
But
that
actually,
one, right? And then
I'm not
it's-
learning anything because there's nothing to learn. So, I think that's how you do non-duality, is just whatever you figure out in your, then you just do the opposite of that. And actually, there is nothing to figure out. There is no stream. You're actually not watching the cool stream at all. I'm not here and talking into a microphone. We're actually one with each other, and our consciousness is not real.
easy to think that consciousness is then who
Consciousness.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not Reginald.
The
My
Milligan
true
wins.
self is this awareness in which my thoughts arise. This is the awareness beneath the thoughts everyone talks about. I am the consciousness that is the foundation of everything. I am pure awareness itself.
Farting.
I am one with God. This is my true self. I have found enlightenment.
Wow.
So being told to search for pure consciousness as our true self is exactly like a reanimated character on a screen, looking for a screen that also isn't real. So much for enlightenment.
What the hell?
Yes, neither the screen nor the self exist. And that character on the screen can't see the firings, nor see the screen, and is itself not actually there.
But
Jesus.
I feel so real. I feel like I'm a conscious being. It feels like I live in time and space, and everything is happening to me. Oh no.
Oh, frick.
It's only me who sees things in terms of duality. This is terrible. I'm made up of smoke and mirrors. Oh fuck.
Wow, that's the dilemma right there. The illusory self can only see itself as a real and separate conscious being. And it's not real. And consciousness as a screen isn't real. And it's only when that whole energetic setup seemingly crumbles that it's somehow obvious there's always only wholeness appearing, as everything.
Yes, that's why there's no message for anyone, because there is just this as wholeness, appearing as it is, with no one really separate, who's having an actual conscious experience. It's made up of smoke and mirrors. But it's also impossible for that illusory you appearing on the screen to call it.
Shut up. Had enough of this. Had enough of this. It's confusing. Confusing. I don't like it. But there's actually
That
nothing to be
constant
confused about.
seeking that you have, please be kind towards yourself, because a lot of us seek because we don't enjoy what we already have and what we already are. We want something else. Please be kind towards yourself regarding that. And if you don't understand it, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. And that you get angry, it's completely fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And the seeking cannot stop because the seeker seeks, It's the job of the seeker, just like the job of the eyes is to see and
Asperger's.
The card of death.
To seek.
Oh Lord.
And the seeker, therefore, can never find. So just be. Figure out how you can have an experience of the illusion dissolving. Is that when you play football? Is that when you go for a run or sit and meditate or smell a flower or hug your kid? Whenever you have, it might only be a glimpse of a second of a perception of it all falling away. And there's just being. And there's just connection and presence. And everything happens at the same time and no time has passed because time doesn't exist. That completely belonging and being a part of. Whatever short period of your day where you feel that illusion falling away, bursting into laughter. So be kind towards yourself. To be kind towards yourself because there's no you. There just is, and that already is presence and connection.
Normal. Drinking and doing all this.
Oh, here we go. This is the last one.
See the program getting tweaked all the time, and it's energy within you. It's cultivating it in it for the years. That's who you think you are, but that's not who you are. That's just the program. That's your mind. That's your mind program, and your mind.
What's all these Scottish people?
Ego, which is a false sense of identity, identifying with those things, those memories, into believing that that's who you are, and that's not who you are.
British.
Who you are is soul, right? It's pureness. I keep coughing. I've got a really tickly throat this morning.
He's got COVID-19.
Anyway. Aye, so this, but once you kind of awaken to this consciousness,
awaken your consciousness within you. Everyone has this consciousness, it just needs to be awakened.
Actually, no one has consciousness. Consciousness isn't real.
See ego in everyone. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's ego is, you see it straight away. So, and you're not going to argue with an ego with a false sense of self. Do you know what I mean? It's false. It's
Scotland.
Fake.
That's true.
That
Okay.
Coming at you with is fake. You know, this argumentative program within them. I want to be right. Blah 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 blah. You know, it's.
I don't think a Scottish person would want to be called British. That I don't know.
Yeah, you just let it go over your head. You don't. Things don't bother you anymore. You're in such a peaceful state now, right? You're free. Basically, you're freeing yourself. When you're
Free. We all need to be free.
You're free from everything.
Free yourself from being on the computer.
You're in a world.
The step one, I think.
Do you know what I mean? This is why it's so difficult, because everyone else is not on your level. They're way below you. And I'm not. This isn't like a battle like I'm better than you. I'm not trying to say like, oh look at me, I've awakened. I'm more conscious than you. I'm better somehow. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not Scottish.
I want everyone to awaken to this. And this is why I push like semen retention and things like that, because all these things cultivate soul energy within you. It's cultivating it, and it's so you're not draining that vital energy. Right?
What are you not? You're not draining the main vein.
Coming up to your higher self.
Your semen's going up to your brain.
This is what I mean. Everyone, society has got all these distractions in place. You know, all these things that will be programmed to do. Which
Your semen's going up to your brain, man.
Doing all this worldly stuff. You can see the program getting tweaked all the time, and it's getting worse. But people are going on with it because it's normal.
Your semen?
It does, but it's not normal. And all this stuff just keeps you in your lower nature, keeps you in your lower chakras, in your lower energy centers. And this is what I mean. You're never ever going to awaken to higher consciousness. Yeah.
If you're blasting your semen all day long, what kind of toddler can make? Slapping your worm around can put you at the low levels. You know, that's where they preach semen retention. Because flapping your tallywhacker around, shooting your stuff left and right, that's not good for your brain. That's what I'm saying. Blasting the ropes left and right, man. That's not going to work. It's pretty good, thanks. There we go. That's my new character, the semen retention Scottish guy. That's what I'm saying. You want to be at the higher level. And when you're flagging your tallywhacker around, that's not good for you. Splooging your stuff and all across the world, man. It's not good. Looking at the internet and pornos. Okay, now we're getting nasty. That's not what this show's about. No. But it's kind of fun. It's fun to say stuff like that. But it doesn't matter because, you know, we're just here. We're just a consciousness. We're just a consciousness and whatever, you know? Just whatever. That's what I've learned today, but we're not a consciousness. So that's what we've learned today with non-duality, and I hope that helps with some of what's going on, how much the world sucks. But actually the world doesn't suck. Because the world doesn't exist, and it's just you and your one brain. So don't forget, okay? When you think about how the world sucks, just think, actually the world isn't real, and it's just a projection on a film strip. And everything's fine. Nothing bad will ever happen because of how the world is. because the world isn't real, and if anything happens, it's because it's the simulation or something. You know, some good stuff in there to take away, perhaps. I'm going to check out some things from this website, the Closer to Truth. That was kind of interesting. Sort of like the psychology, brain science side of stuff. It doesn't have to be all this stuff, this woo-woo stuff, as they say. You know? It doesn't have to have all this flowery language. At the end of the day, we're just a brain inside of a meat sack. Inside a big sack of meat. We're just a bunch of... In the end of the day, we're just a meat sack full of bones. And we're a brain that's also a meat blob that's just spitting out stuff in front of your film strip. Okay? Just think of your mind as playing all kinds of YouTube videos, and all you have to do is just pause the YouTube video. Alright? Pause. No, there's no, and be one with the oneness. Let's all take a moment to be in our oneness, okay? And then we'll end the show. I think this will help you get into the oneness.
Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel.
My wife.
Leave a like and subscribe.
I mean, come on.
Father on the Banco.
Father on the Banco. The semen retention Scott. That's something I'm gonna work on for my next bit. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I hope you've achieved oneness like me. If you haven't, maybe watch the episode again. You'll figure it out. All right. We'll be seeing you next time on the Cool Stream, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the Cool Stream. My wife. My wife. This was the Cool Stream.
Don't forget to like this video.
Pink! Right in the face.
Don't forget to like this video.
Thank you for using Coolscape.
Goodbye, Beowulf.
Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one. Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one.
My wife. My wife.
The real wicked wins. The real wicked wins.
Love you all so very much. That's the first thing we want to tell you. You are in good hands.
My name is Fred Spencer, and I do videos and animation.
Well, first of all, most of my movies were silly.
You don't know the right people. You haven't struck the right spot. Well, I say it's time.
So we have to bench. Father on the Banco.
For you, I gain access to the web.
Don't forget to like this video.
Look at that. Wow, wow.
Don't forget to like this video.
Ooh, it's so good.
That is crazy. Oh my word.
This guy. Hey, we got B-Wolf in the chat. What's up, B-Wolf?
Goodbye, Beowulf.
Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one. Thanks.
You actually know what the fuck you're doing. You actually know what the fuck you're doing.
Everything belongs, including that which we think doesn't. How funny.